Hey, how y'all doing? Mob Guppy. I went up a couple minutes early. You know why? I was here. I'd already I'd fed them my fish and was ready just to hang out with you. Thanks to Tampa Tom, first to visit and say hi. And as people are coming in, please say who you are. Turbo Fish, welcome to the live stream. And I hope you're well. It's a Monday night party. Hey, by the way, Clemson Tigers, baby. Clemson. And not sponsored, but the drink of choice is Aquafina. Aquafina. Yeah, edit booths are not good. Aquafina is good. They're not paying me. And no, this is not vodka. Turbo Fish, I know what you're thinking. So I've had a couple of crazy days at the office. And so today was was like a nightmare from, yeah, sure. I did have a beer when I got home from work. One beer and one beer only. I had a Guinness Stout, a Guinness Extra Stout. I like my beers a little bit of a kick, so I prefer that. And so here I am. I fed the fish. I've taken Bolo for a couple of walks. He's laying now at my side, just passed out with all 4 feet in the air like he just don't care. And it's a Monday night party. Lots of good things going on in the fish room. In fact, tomorrow, work is that the company I work for there's a lot of fall, Christmas type things going on, parade type stuff. And my company has floats on it. So there are 4 parades this week. I'm participating in 2. And so I'm participating in one tomorrow night. And then I'm doing a Christmas parade on Saturday. And that's going to get into our normal live stream time. So I may go live in the afternoon. Kaler's Aquatics. Bob Kaler, welcome. Welcome to the Monday night party. Fish party. Fish party. So it's all good. It's all good. 6 here, 3 likes. Really appreciate it. Alien World Aquatics. Oh, man. Just go home. Just get the heck out home. That would be good. You working or something, brother? Cichlid King Aquatics. Hey, welcome to the live stream. It's great having you here. Yeah, so on this Monday night, I'm getting ready for football. Of course, I'm a Vikings fan. Skol, everybody. Skol. And they're playing the Sea Chickens in Seattle. That's a tough place to play. I don't know. Chewy, what's up, Chewy? Welcome to the live stream. I love my Vikings and everything, and I think they're going to play well. I just think that playing in Seattle is that's one of the road places you don't want to go. You don't want to go to Oakland. They're nuts. Philadelphia, they're nuts to play in Philadelphia. Big J's Fish Keeper, welcome to the live stream. For whatever reason, I think Baltimore may be a tough, but maybe they're not bad place to go watch. I've been to a lot of NFL stadiums. I've been to more baseball stadiums, but I've been to a number of NFL stadiums around the country. And the crowds for the most part are really good if you show up wearing the opposite team colors. When I lived in New York, I got tickets to go see the New York Giants play the San Francisco 49ers. And let me tell you something. Anna's Hobbies, welcome. Is that as I went in and enjoyed it, People show up with a 49ers hat and people go, wrong team, buddy. That's fine. That's good hazing. It's Atlanta Falcons. They don't care if you show up with a Vikings hat. Neither does Charlotte. Neither does Tennessee. They just, you don't get razzed at all. I would never go to Philadelphia dressed in my Vikings colors. I'd never go to see the Oakland Stadium in my Vikings colors. So let's talk about the fish party here. I have like some bad news. One of my fish cultures crashed, and when I bought these three worm cultures, not fish cultures, worm cultures, at a few weeks ago, and all of a sudden, Valley Fish here live, welcome. So I got three different cultures, and so I bought more plastic things to set them up, and I did a video on that. But one of them I noticed almost immediately was started to have mold on the side. So I figured, okay, I got to start that now. So I did. Not so good. That had mold in it, and it was gone. It was dead. So I had to throw it. The other cultures are coming along really nice. I'll feed my fish from those cultures before I go to bed tonight. So it's all good. Cyclic King Aquatics going out and subscribing to Alien World. That's good. Support the fam. That's what we're all about here. Mob Guppy, where the Guppy is the mob. Thanks for posting that, Bob. And yeah, you can have Mob Guppy wear. If just looking at me is a pleasure, uh, then you need like a Mob Guppy mug. Who doesn't? So I hope you guys had a great holiday weekend. Um, had great time with your family, great time with a great time with your friends and family during the holiday weekend as we get sort of locked into Christmas and Hanukkah seasons, which is really terrific, and it's a great time to just remember what we've all gone through. We've all had things go on in the last year, but let's talk about the real party. It's called the fish. And I'm just about to set up. I've been showing off in past videos. There's this one sword-tailed guppy that I've been sort of hoping would develop a sword. Hey, Melvin's here. Storm Riders Aquatics, welcome. And so he's finally developing a sword. I think we're going to be good. So I'm going to set him up with a couple of girlfriends in his own aquarium so we can make some babies. I've got the new rack. I haven't set that up yet. I probably should have done that this afternoon. Um, it's here's what I was waiting for, and they no showed me. I'm not necessarily really good at cleaning the house. The house is a little bit cluttered. It's not bad. I'm not a pig. I do dishes and all that sort of stuff. But I pay for a housekeeping service to come in once a month. You know, you know, mop the floors. Clean the bathrooms. Clean the kitchen up. Make sure it's nice. And so I hooked up. I came to town, really didn't know what to do, so I hooked up through a website called Home Advisor. And so we're now in December. It's been 7 weeks of them basically canceling appointments on me at the last minute. So today I worked early, so I was home at about 1. So the deal is, so I'm home at 1. I'm ready to enjoy the enjoyment of the cleaners coming at 2. So I get home, look at my phone, they canceled. Last minute cancellation. So they canceled I had canceled them twice in October, mainly because I was out of town on the weekends. Normally I have them come in on Saturdays. Now that my hours have changed, I can be home at 2 p.m. on a weekday. Not a problem. So they no-showed They canceled at the last minute on the 2nd. Then they cancel on the last minute on the 16th. Then they cancel on the last minute on the 23rd. So then I booked it for for today. And so I zip home, and it was like one of those days. I actually I did a we transfer. I we transferred a bunch of files over. Hey, congratulations, Bob, grandson coming. Way to go. Way to go. That's neat. Uh, so I go and I get, so I get home and I'm going, so I did work, and I have a place here. I really need to clean the I really need to go out and clean the floor under where this new rack is going. So I went and got some stuff, and I was just sort of hoping they would show up to do it. Lumpy Dog's here. Life is good. So again, it's just, and of course, I never let them get anywhere close to the aquariums. Just do the floors, dust the TV. Good. And they always ask, "Can I wash the glass on the aquariums?" I go, "No, thank you. I'll take care of that." Not letting anybody who does, my aquariums are my sanctum. They are my place. So the only people I would allow to touch my aquariums are you, anybody in this audience, because I know you care about fish and you understand it, etc. I'm not allowing some, cleaning service to get anywhere near these aquariums. All right. That being said, so in the process here, I'm ready for this rack. I just need to. I guess I'm gonna have to clean the floor myself. First world problems, isn't it? But it's just I'm not real good at it. You know what I'm saying? It's how I do things. And I don't know about you guys. I don't necessarily have the patience sometimes on this. There are things I do really well. I have a lot of patience for. I'm good at doing dishes, putting away dishes. I can do laundry. I don't fold all that well, but doesn't matter. And clothes that I have, like business clothes. Normally I can go to work business casual, so ironing. It's ironing is not necessarily my skill set. So those I take to the dry cleaners. I have them iron. I have them press my nice stuff. But normally I'm wearing, like today I wore a sweater and wore a nice pair of skinny jeans. Even though I put on some weight, so I'm basically too fat for skinny jeans. So that's another first world problem, isn't it? That's like a country song. She's too fat for her skinny jeans. Uh, you know, so that's sort of the deal there. So, partying with my fish and just going through. I've been looking through. Hey, Daryl Deemer, I hope you had a great birthday the other day, buddy. The pictures from your birthday celebration were terrific. So happy birthday, Daryl. And if you guys haven't said happy birthday to Daryl, say happy birthday to our buddy Daryl. And so that's all good. So getting the aquarium, getting the fish and all that stuff. Hey, Matthew Moore Cichlids, welcome. Welcome to the live stream tonight. It's a Monday night party. Monday night party. And my fish room companion Bolo is so excited. He's just essentially over here on my left, laying down. So I have a buddy of mine who has this theory, a long-time theory. And let's talk food for a second. Hey, well, happy birthday to Lumpy Dog's wife. So the whole thing is that no matter what mall you go to the food court, and one of the places that serves a variety of Asian food is serving bourbon chicken. You can find that anywhere. And good luck. You go to a Chinese restaurant, which generally those are what it is. You ask for, you look for bourbon chicken on their menu. They don't have it. Even huge, expansive Chinese menus. So he brought this up to me. So I said, "You kidding?" So every mall, every time I go into a mall, I go to the food court. Yep, bourbon chicken. Well, all of a sudden, I saw an ad getting ready for Monday Night Football. Applebee's. Rob at Flip Aquatics, his favorite restaurant in the world is Applebee's. Um, they're serving bourbon chicken, which is pretty incredible stuff. Pretty incredible stuff. So I've been in the process of looking for a permanent place to live, and a permanent place to live, buy a house and all that sort of stuff. So I'm looking at new construction, mainly because I can get the hardwood floors, I can do that type of thing. Because quite frankly, I'm not married, I don't have kids. Um, that means a whole house of aquariums. Capiche? So I'm gonna, do hardwood floors, laminate, bamboo floors, whatever it is. So I don't have to worry about spilling on carpet. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do in my house. So I talked to a guy showing new houses. That's part of the people selling this new construction last week. And so he couldn't see me last week, and I said, "Well, contact me, and then I'll see you next week in the afternoon sometime." Well, Bolo is, he is sort of a kid, but he's pretty doggone bossy. Hey, Don Gallagher, the party now can begin. I'm going to have a shot of Aquafina. So the process dealing with the aquariums and dealing with all that sort of stuff, I like the idea of new construction for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's more fuel efficient. It's it can go through, and the idea that I can do the flooring. I think the idea here is that you buy a house that somebody's lived in, and you can negotiate flooring into it. But don't want to move into a place where I'm spending $5,000 on flooring. So I'd rather just buy it into what I'm doing immediately and get that all set up and get water resistant hardwood floors. So there we go. Yeah, and stained concrete floors are beautiful, and these homes have basements, so I'll be able to put. I'm going to be able to put aquariums everywhere. I'm going to have them everywhere. So I'm pretty excited about the whole process. So it's my lease ends here the end of April, April 30th. I don't think April's the 31st. So so my goal is to close on the house, you know, April 10th or something like that. Because I want to set up the new aquariums, get those up running for a week, move over my current fish, take down these aquariums. Remember, my moving is all about the fish. Does anybody understand what I'm saying? Can anybody relate? So I can move them over and get ready to enjoy. You know what? That's a good idea, Matthew Moore. Maybe I'll have to look into that. I'm gonna have to see. I'm not really sure what they do with the construction in this area. I've lived in a couple of places in a row where they did not do basements, but here they do, which I'm really excited about it. So it's all about getting the fish set up, and then I'm gonna go and set up, a bunch more aquariums. I love it. It's you know, how many aquariums are too much? Is that a sane question to ask? Really? Being fair. By the way, we have 11 folks here, 7 thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for the likes. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate everything you guys do for me and being involved. I know this holiday week stuff is all screwed up for everybody. So, yeah, this weekend. Hey, Dee's here from down the wormhole. The party is starting. You know, 400 aquariums. If I get to that point, I better really be professionally into it full time. And yeah, that's true. Basements are really good. Bingo, Cichlid King Aquatics. There you go. Your living room, 2 recliners, a TV, and aquariums. See, I have a recliner, a couch, and I have 10 aquariums set up right now, but I'll have 18 aquariums set up here in about, in the next couple of weeks. And I have a sort of a picnic table that serves as my dining room table, but right now I have like junk on it, so I have to actually clean that up. So that's exciting. And yeah, you see, everybody can relate to. Thanks, Don, for the reminder. You see, the idea here is that fish aquariums are. What I would like to get, and this is one. I saw this at a restaurant years ago, and it came to me as really a cool idea. Get 2 large acrylic aquariums with a pass-through and put arowanas in them. And, have like a 1,500 gallon aquarium combined with everything. I would love that. Yeah, Lumpy Dog, there you go. Those tanks follow you home too. I'll tell you what, the biggest scam in the world, are people selling used aquariums on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. Some of these people are on drugs, absolutely on dope. I mean, they think of these things as being worth a ton of money. And one guy goes, well, it comes with a filter. I said, I'm not using your filter. I'm buying a new filter. Your filters, I'm not using somebody's used filter. It's just nothing that makes sense to me at all. I don't like using used heaters. Lights are fine, but when it's all said and done, I'm not doing that. Why am I not doing that? Because I use filter as a used filter. I'm not interested. I would rather buy a brand new one. Comes with a used sponge filter that's been dry for 3 years. No! I'm not interested. The saltwater people, when they sell their equipment, because they become overly inflated with what it's worth, in my opinion. They really do. So that's one of the processes that's going on right now as I look at these aquariums and I look at this type of stuff. So yeah, so other than that, that's yeah, it's a good stand. I'll take a good stand. I'll pay something for it too. Yep, that's right, Matthew Moore Cichlids. Used filter equals snails and disease. Absolutely, it does. It so oh, Bolo's here. Come here. You want to say hi to everybody? So there we go. Yeah, I swear to you, there are people just absolutely. Uh, there's a Facebook group called Overpriced Aquariums. I will post stuff on there occasionally. I'll copy something over when I see something crazy. Michael's Fish Room puts stuff up. Other folks do it. And so Overpriced Aquariums on Facebook. Let me see if I can find that real quick and I'll put that up here. Because it really is Overpriced Aquariums for sale. I'll put up the link for that right now. And I mean, these people are, some of these people are just, I mean, really on the old crack pipe when it comes to how much they think these things are worth. Just nuts. So if you haven't joined that group, I suggest you do, because it's endless hours of entertainment. And when you see something that's crazy, please post it up there. And set up my first dirted tank. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Tell me how that goes, because I look and I consider the idea a good idea, and but I don't know how I would do it. It's I'm not the king of DIY. I'm Peter, and I like to keep things simple and beautiful, and just try to go from there and try to develop beautiful fish that are fun to look at. One of my coworkers helped me move in my stand on Saturday, and he looked at my guppies and he was just going, "Wow, those are incredible." So that's all good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, Lumpy Dog, with your dirted tank. I've seen people who set them up. I before I would do one, just to be fair, I would uh, I would want to visit somebody's fish room where they have them set up just to get a good look and see whether I would like it or not. That's sort of what I would be after. Do I like it or don't I like it? And try to go from there. Um, I'm glad you're trying it out, Lumpy. And again, I have no, if something interests you, try it out. Absolutely. I'm just talking from my perspective. And some people are so cool and so great at building their own stands. Not my deal. I'm not Captain Construction. My brother, yeah, if my brother lived close, I would buy all the wood in the world and have him set up racks because he's good at that. That's just sort of his natural wheelhouse. That's where I think the deal is. My wheelhouse, yeah, you know what? I work. I'm relatively creative at my job. I'm a good manager. A little bit of a pain in the butt. I like the dog. I like my fish. I'm relatively simple. In fact, you know what? I have not even had dinner yet tonight. So after we're done, I'm gonna nuke up a vegan delight. Ooh, Vinny the Mooch. Now that's a good dream. Hey, what about a home with a basement and a 40 by 60 slab on the side of your living room with a drain system and water system installed? That's my dream. That's a good dream. So I've never watched a father fish video. I'm gonna have to check that out. It again, the dirted tank thing. I've seen a couple of videos. I think LR Bretts, Lucas Bretts has done them. He did a couple of videos around it. It was interesting to see, and he's like he's a maniac. And by the way, I'm saying maniac in highest compliments. But this guy he looks at things in a very different way, and his passion for our hobby is unsurpassed. He's there because he loves the hobby. He loves what we are all interested in. And Aquafunk had a live stream yesterday, and he was sort of complaining a little bit about some of the larger channels. And a lot of his criticisms were fair. My deal is that there are some channels that have a lot of following that I don't know how many aquariums the person has in the first place. I don't think they have many aquariums. So it's and it's just so I think that's sort of the deal. And so I really appreciate it. So so yes, that's the deal on dirted tanks. That's the deal on that. I've been in the process of getting just getting the new fish room up and the new fish stuff going. And I'm at the point now where definitely when I move, I'm gonna have to set up another large thing, and I'm gonna have to get the python to fill aquariums, or not to fill aquariums. I don't mind necessarily doing but I think filling my water reservoir. I think I'm going to be at doing that. So it's and I'll have this is how crazy our hobby is that every time you think you have enough, you realize you don't. And it always comes in that, yeah, I really need this. Really, this is not looking all that great. My Amica Splendens tank had a big algae bloom. And, I've been really feeding the snot out of them. And I realize it's because I'm probably leaving zucchini or yellow squash or a cucumber too long with them and just letting them graze for like 24 hours instead of 48. So I did a water change yesterday, and I scraped algae and sucked out a lot of algae that I got down the ground. So I'm going to sort of lean back on not doing that for the feed them just a couple of times a week. The zucchini and the yellow squash, which I enjoy, I love. So I'm giving them I took one out yesterday, and today and tomorrow I will not put one in, but I'll put one in on Wednesday. Going on right from there. My plec, I'll tell you with the new aquarium, is that I'm going to be doing more shrimp. I just whoever got me in on the shrimp thing, you guys are amazing. You have pushed me over. It's Rob with LR Aquatics. That dude, not Rob with LR Aquatics, with Flip Aquatics. Talk about getting me way, way over on that. Just amazing. Just amazing all the way around. I cannot the shrimp thing and just having them in my tank. I didn't know if I was going to like them or not, but I thought, why not just do them and just see what I thought? Because they could be kind of cool. I enjoy watching them as much as any other fish I've had in my fish room. I've done a lot over time with South American cichlids, and it's amazing. And well, Bubba does, yeah. Bubba knows all about shrimp. You got big shrimp. You throw it in gumbo. Yeah, it's yeah, it's do those Bubba Gump restaurants, are they still around? I haven't lived in a hip place in a while, so are they still around, or are they all closed by now? A movie, essentially a restaurant from a movie character. So it's up Navy Pier in Chicago. Turbofish says it. Hey, Turbofish, are you in Chicago? My sister just moved up to Chicago from Los Angeles, and I've got to at some point I'll head up there and hang out. And yeah, I was on Turbo's Fish's live stream for about, I don't know, most of it. Okay, very good. My sister lives in Barrington. She just received my Christmas card. I just got a text from her. It was the first one she'd received for the season, and she says I'm a nut. So I put out a kind of a funny based around my sense of humor. I uh, I won't say what it is yet because I'll wait for it to arrive because some members of the Fish fam are receiving it, and I hope they find it very enjoyable. But I'll just tell you that my Christmas card is epic. Do you like your bamboo shrimp, Anna? I'm thinking that I would I think I would like to go out and do that. Thanks, Bob, again for being a cool moderator. You're doing a great job, and I really appreciate it. The tanks that that I go through and are watching, the shrimp deal is that, yeah, I just my new tens that are going up, they all have shrimp substrate going in. I have already purchased the substrate. I'm ready to rock. So I have to buy 4 more heaters, but I got the first 4, and as just going out from there. So my Reds, um, Roebuck Reds, they are getting ready to go. They look good, and yeah, you see Lumpy Dog. Bob is just he's hammering you, and so I appreciate that. Thank you again very, very much. So it's yeah, I've never done Christmas cards, and I sent some out this year for the first time. My ex-wife was not big into it, so she liked receiving them, but getting her to make a decision on them, that was a problem. So, well, I'm gonna have to, Anna. I'm gonna have to look more into bamboo shrimp. Maybe I'll do a tank of those. Maybe I'll do a tank of those. I'll take a look a little more carefully at bamboo shrimp. I really have not considered them. So it's and you know what that means. If you haven't considered it, it means you really need to consider it. Uh, so yeah. So other than that, yeah, that's sort of the fun there. I'm in a new city and a new job, so I don't get a lot of time off, and so I'm going to be taking So I'm going to be spending the holiday here and going out and doing stuff like that. So it's it's going out and building up a new group of folks. Now the traditional aquarium club in Springfield, those people are terrific. It's in a couple of weeks. I'm going to be going down to the Fayetteville Aquarium Club, the Northwest Arkansas Aquarium Club, and Michael Gaines is the guy who runs that. He's great, and it's really a good group of people to be around. I really have learned a lot from them, and I really appreciate them. So that's sort of the fun that's going on there. Thank goodness, Tampa Tom. I appreciate you having here. Tampa Tom, first one in tonight. And by the way, whenever you see a thing with me, I start at whatever time. Always be there about 10 minutes early. I usually start early. The Zen Ginger, hola, buenos dias, or buenas tardes, if you haven't had dinner yet. That's one of the things I'll do right after we're done here. I'm going to have something. I ate a big lunch that I shouldn't have eaten, so I'm going to have something light for dinner. And then I've got to get ready to work for work. I've got to do some reading tonight before I turn in for the office. So that's going to be a part of the deal. So other than that, gang, let's see, what else can I tell you? I don't know. Because I did my last water changes, I had some problem with a couple of the tanks, and yep, the early worm always gets the worm. Absolutely correct. And so these folks, I ended up because I had a weirder reaction to a couple of my aquariums from the last water change. A couple of my guppy tanks, and I usually change about half of the aquarium water. I do a 50% change when I do the water changes. I ended up treating 2 of the aquariums with general cure erythromycin. They all turn around; they're doing well, but it was brought up and mentioned to me that maybe they did something funky with your water. So I doubled up the prime for what I did. I did instead of the treatment for 50 gallons, I did the treatment for 100 gallons. So I may do that that way for this next change as well. On Wednesday, I'll do a when the house cleaner no shows me again. Yeah, I do. I age the water in tubs, but you still have to add the water treatment, and because if you have chloramines are not like chlorine. Chlorine after a while evaporates. It leaves the water column. Chloramines don't. And I've gone through the report of my local water system, and I called over there, and they basically said they mainly use chlorine, but they'll occasionally, infuse the treatment with chloramines, I think is how they termed it. Who knows? Who knows how that works? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Either you're doing the chloramines or you're not. I don't know why you have to do that. So yeah, that's why I do the big tub to treat the water. But again, chloramines are chloramines. They don't leave the water column easy. They really don't. And I have found, and again, I've moved because of my work. Almost everyone is using chloramines, and I just it just how you treat it. It's just that's how it works. So it's so that's sort of the sort of the deal that goes on there. I realized something, that I don't have anything on the way to being delivered. Not neat. So, did anyone order anything today on Cyber Monday? If so, what'd you get? Did you get a good deal? One of the things I got one of those rings, a doorbell thing for out front. Man, is that cool! Zen Ginger didn't get anything today on Cyber Monday. Well, the one thing I have sort of wanted to get, um, they have these at the office, and they got them off of Amazon, and it's an Amazon product. Is a couple of cameras. They're indoor outdoor cameras, so I can move them. They work just off the internet, and I'd like to put one on my 55, and so I can just look down at my fish at work. It's peaceful. So you got T-shirts, Tampa Tom. That's cool. Uh, Lumpy Dog, you should post up your address. Everybody in chat will mail you all of our old broken down aquarium filters for Christmas. God, that's a temptation. I don't get my mail at home. I have a UPS store address, uh, mainly because when I moved to town, I didn't have a place to live immediately, so I went from there. But I also have stuff for like business stuff. I have like freelance stuff that I do and things like that. So the idea that, and also having the fish delivered to a climate controlled place. Hey, by the way, hey, not Nola Jane Fish Rich. And yeah, I get paranoid over that, Nola Jane. I just get paranoid about that. Hey, Dylan Martin's in the house. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Monday Night Fish Party. Woo! I got my Clemson jersey on. It's not a jersey, it's a t-shirt. Go Clemson! And no, I didn't go to Clemson. I my deal is that I lived in Greenville, South Carolina for a few years, and the company I worked with did business with Clemson. And one of my coworkers took me to a game, and it was great. It was really, really cool. That's very cool, Lumpy. You got your delivery today from Aquarium Co-op, a variety of food, easy green, and some rocks. I get my foods. I've gotten like shrimp caves just recently from Aquarium Co-op. I always get my foods from Super Cichlids because I find over other places I order it online, their containers, the amount they deliver is usually a lot more for a better price. So that's where I end up getting it. I've gotten fish food from Aquarium Co-op. I haven't gotten rocks, but I've gotten different things for the fish room from him, and probably will do it again. So the one thing I got, I'm always looking for a deal. And hey, Clown Killies, Rainbows, Rosie Daniels today from Bob Steenfut. Well, that's fantastic. I've been actually, yeah, their fry food is really good. When I moved up here, I rehomed my guppies with one of my guys in the fish club, and I gave him my thing of the fry food. And so I got in my most recent purchase of fry food, I got some of the Northfin fry food, which is terrific. And I may go with the Aquarium Co-op next time. I probably do need a liquid fertilizer, so it sounds good. So I can't wait, Bob, for you to give us your story about getting the stuff from Bob Steenfot. I think that's great. Let's see here. Sorry, I can't buy anything. I got the Italian disease. LA funds a low. Too many grand and great grandkids. Yeah, no, it's and those little Italian kids, they'll argue with their hands. They're great, and they're great. Big Italian family. By the way, I lived in New York for just shy of 7 years. I really, I enjoyed it. I'm very happy not to be living there, but I enjoyed it. Okay, so here's the thing about New York: you get to know those Italian families from Staten Island and Oyster Bay, Queens, and stuff like that. You ask them, uh, number one, what's a good Italian restaurant? How to tell a good Italian restaurant? And I'll tell you my secret that I learned while in New York, and it's foolproof. Foolproof. Even where you live, you can tell there's a good Italian restaurant by following this. But the other thing is that nearly every New York Italian family has an uncle, a cousin, a grandfather, a father named Carmine. It's the whole deal. So here's how you tell a good Italian restaurant. Um, I get uh, when you go into an Italian restaurant before being seated. No, I haven't, Tampa Tom. I've not listened to Roger and JP Morning talk show. What station's that up? So the process is that walk through the restaurant, and it doesn't matter if it's 3 p.m., 5 p.m., 12 noon, 10 p.m. Look for a little Italian guy sitting in a corner table with sunglasses on in a suit looking good. And if you find that guy, eat there. It's going to be legit and it's going to be great. Now, why about the Italian guy and the dark glasses and the yeah, he's probably Mobb connected. And those guys don't eat bad Italian food. They eat great Italian food every time. So that's sort of the thing that someone explained to me. One of my employees who was Italian from Staten Island explained that to me. And I will tell you, because there are a lot of Italian restaurants in New York. And sometimes you eat it when you're going, that's really not that good. And once I learned that little tip, I walked through and bingo dunno, great, absolutely great, really delicious. And so that's the high sign. Yeah, Zen Ginger, buying in bulk may be the right thing to do. I'm like weird on this. I'm going to tell you how weird I am. I usually get the smallest amount of food offered. So the food I feed the fish is always fresh. I have not gotten to the point of putting my fish food in a freezer or the fridge. But yeah, I could pretty much do that. When I get into my house, I may have a small fridge freezer thing where I have nothing but fish food in it. So it's it's Dylan Martin. I'll tell you what, just set up new aquariums, Dylan. It's it may be the best investment. It's number one, it keeps your hands busy. You know what they say, idle hands are the devil's workshop. Well, that's good news then, Ginger. That's good news. Yeah, so the process of going through the aquarium, the deal is I have to set up a separate aquarium, uh, for the Amica Splendens. My Amica Splendens are getting big. I I have not had a male develop yet. And I'm sure that's just about to happen. I got them, they were really tiny. I mean, very small. And now they're in 3 months, they've quadrupled in size, easy. And they have full little tummies. I give them baby brine shrimp every day, and otherwise it's just veggie filled stuff. I have a couple of different types of algae wafers, so I give them a piece of that. I have a couple of different types. I have one that's sort of a pellet veggie food, and then I have a veggie food that's uh, that uh, it's flake. Now Dylan says my mom says I can have one tank, but all my fish they need more tanks and new fish. Here's what you say, Dylan. Let me tell you what you say to your mom. There are worse ways for me to spend money. Having fish keeps me around the house, keeps me out of trouble. Hey, GN Aquarium, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining in. So, yeah, so that's the deal. And yeah, Uncle Rocco and his violin case. Yes. It it's there's a lot of negative in this world, but the fish fam is not. We're a pretty positive group of folks. We got some good things going on here. We have a great hobby, a hobby that allows us to focus our passion on something good. It's a great thing to be involved with. It really is. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about all of you guys. And I want to thank you guys so much for uh, you know for pursuing our passion. And by the way, anyone who goes out, some of you have heard me say this, but I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say it probably about 90 more times. The more, the merrier. The more fish clubs, the better. The more fish stores, the better. The more people involved with our hobby, the better. Yeah, the science angle JN Aquarium, that's a good one. Science. Yeah, Dylan, I think you have to just tell her that, do you want me up to malfeasances or do you want me up to good, wholesome stuff? More aquariums for you, and especially for you. And so, yeah, no malfeasances. You're just up to good old fashioned, wholesome stuff. Yeah, moms can be tough. My parents were always pretty good about, whatever pets I wanted. They were really pretty good about it. I was very fortunate, but my dad was a softie for animals. It's my sister, at the age of 4 said, "I want a kitty." And my dad goes, "Let's go." And they went straight to the animal shelter and got her a kitty. She named the kitty Jennifer, and Jennifer, of course, was a dude cat. So Jennifer the dude cat. Yeah, I'll tell you what about the bird thing, Dylan. I had a cockatiel. They live, from a cockatiel can live from 10 to 25 years in captivity. Normally they average around 14, 15. Mine passed away at when it was 14 years old. It's a commitment like a dog. You have to take it with you. You have to do all that sort of stuff. When my cockatiel died, I thought of getting an African gray, move up. African gray lives for 30, 40 years if you're doing everything right. Can live 60 years. And the people I worked for at the time, was a family business, and I had really a cool office. And I was told that I had to be around that African gray at least for the first 6 months, you know, unless I was going to the grocery store or something like that, going to church or what have you. Wow, D, congratulations. 20 and 21, that's fantastic. I got home, my cockatiel was doing just fine, and he had a stroke. So, maybe I wasn't doing everything right. Yeah, it's okay, D. I like lurking. Lurking counts. It's all good. So, the process of of going with an African gray, that would be the one I would go with. Susan at SLC Aquatics, welcome to the live stream. So great having you here. Monday night party. Raise that roof. Poorly raise the roof. I'm not really good at raising the roof. So there you go. Oh, your bird got egg bound? Yeah, that's not good. That's not good, Nilji. And not good at all. Yeah, my bird, his name was Harold. And yeah, birds are very dusty. That's the deal with them. They're very dusty. Uh, for whatever reason, if I won the lottery and, won a couple of $100 million, I would probably set up where I would have some big birds like hyacinth macaws to breed. I think that'd be really great. But those are birds, those are heirloom birds. They live for 100 and some years, if you're doing it right. So, and yeah, the deal is with the macaws, Dylan, they live forever. That is a 60, 70-year-old bird if you're doing it well. So that one's a real commitment. And you're going to want to go to college and stuff like that. And you can do that, you can do that when you're in your late 20s. And go to school and get your education. And the cool thing about aquariums is you can set them up almost anywhere. So that's really the cool stuff. Macaws are terrific. They're tremendous. And, a heck of a commitment, though. A heck of a commitment. And so that's sort of the deal going on from there. Again, fish are really, there are certain fish that are more of a commitment. I think, obviously, discus, arowana, some of the big ones like the big nasties. Those are pretty big commitments. But so that's good. Maybe because D, you may have a boy bird, which is good. Dojo loaches are cool. Absolutely. Cool beans. I really appreciate them. I really appreciate yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody. We're in December now. You can set up your trees without the shame of setting up your tree before Thanksgiving. I'll tell you what, I went into Walmart and they had set up Christmas stuff in September. Way too early. Way too early in the game. I love Christmas, but it starts, Black Friday, you can set up junk. Perfectly fine with me. Perfectly fine to get ready to celebrate Christmas then. Makes all the sense in the world. And, my whole deal, but again, I'm recently divorced, freshly divorced. I'm not setting up any Christmas junk in the house. Actually, I left that for her. She got all the Christmas stuff, which is fine. And my parents had a lot of Christmas stuff, and I think it's sitting in storage somewhere. I think it's in Los Angeles, but it may be in Chicago. I don't know. But they had some pretty cool stuff, so that would be going through. All right, gang. Well, Bob Steenfoss getting ready to do his live stream. We've been together for an hour and 6 minutes. I appreciate having everybody here. Um, our normal live stream on Saturday, the time will be different because I'm in a Christmas parade for work, and it is what it is. It's I have to be there at 5 p.m. and I'll get back about 8 p.m. I may do one in early in the afternoon. Just watch your notifications. And if you haven't subscribed to the Mobb Guppy channel, please do. You're invited to hit the notification bell, ring that bell, and I'll get you all the cool stuff. And we'll see you on Wednesday with another video from the fish room. I'll pay attention to some of my guppies for you. And again, thanks for watching Mobb Guppy, where the guppy is the mob. Join the mob, be a member of the mob, be a mobster.